video from me. My name is Madison, and basically I am on a path of self-discovery and self-love. I've realized that my purpose is to encourage and uplift people, so that's what this channel is mostly about. If you like that, go ahead and subscribe because I'll keep posting more videos. Today what we're going to go over is the full moon in Scorpio. I have my notes here that I'm going to do up top. If you just want to skip ahead to the collective card reading, go ahead. I'll have that down at the bottom. But for those of you who are interested in, this collection of information that I got over the last week or so, go ahead and stay tuned. Some of the places I got information was from my girl Shonetta. She does really good tarot videos. I love her so much and she inspires me. So some of my notes are from her video. I can link that below. I also have a planetary guide that I look at every week to kind of figure out what's going on. It's just a short paragraph though, so I have some notes from there. And then I also have my Moonology Oracle cards. I share those on my Instagram a lot. So that's another place that I got the information about the Scorpio full moon. So I'll just share with you kind of what it is that we should be focusing on, and I'll share kind of what I'm going to do, and then we'll get into a collective reading a little bit later. Okay, so some of you might already know that Pluto already went into retrograde, right? So it's going to be in retrograde all the way up until October. So what Shonetta was telling everybody was that an important thing to do is to look at where Pluto is on your chart. And look at where Scorpio is on your chart, and that can kind of give you an idea, astrology-wise, that can kind of give you an idea of what you should be focusing on for the full moon. If you don't feel like doing any of that stuff, this is also just a time of reflection, releasing negative energies, things like that. So you can, of course, still do those general things. Okay, so from Wednesday all the way to Friday, the moon will be in Scorpio. That full moon will be on that Thursday. So this is kind of a time to expect deep conversations with people. You might be feeling called to be by yourself, just be in solitude for a while. Especially if you're being alone, some emotions might start coming up, and there are things that you need to work on, like some shadow work that you should be doing right now, because Scorpio is very much a shadow type sign. I have a lot of Scorpio on my chart, so that's why I kind of already have this idea of what it means to be transitioning through Scorpio. But it's a time to kind of allow yourself to speak with people, speak openly, speak your emotions, as long as you're speaking your truth. Sometimes we speak from a place of fear, so let's try not to speak from that place of fear. Let's try to speak from a place of love. If you feel like you might have overshared with somebody, just, accept that Spirit wanted you to share that information with that person, And if somebody does make you feel bad because you shared something emotional with them, maybe they just weren't ready, and that's okay. Don't feel guilty for what you did. You could have made an impact in their life and you might not even know it. You know what I mean? So don't feel guilt for just expressing how you feel emotionally. So now's a good time to release old emotions and take a strong look at Pluto in your chart. Ask yourself questions like, how are you mothering yourself? What are your shadow aspects? And these are things that you do that are toxic and negative for your life. These are things that you feel compelled to do based on your instincts or conditioning or whatever, but they do not serve you. Okay, think about the qualities that you see in others that you kind of hate, because then that comes from something. I just realized the other day how much I hate when people are hypocritical. I kept going on and on about it, and my fiance was like, yeah, it's something a lot of people don't like that other people do. And I was like, that's so true. And I feel like it's a lot of things. I feel like it's a big part of shadow work is accidentally being hypocritical, because we get so upset whenever people don't say what they mean, or they don't follow up with, what they said they were going to, and things like that. It makes us feel like we can't trust that person and that person might be dishonest. So whenever we're caught being hypocritical in any way, it definitely hurts us. It hurts our false self and it hurts our ego, because all of us hate the idea of being hypocritical. So that's just kind of a little share thing for me. So during this time, be mindful of the emotions you're feeling. if you're getting flashbacks from trauma, take the time to work through it, like journal about it, work through it, things like that. Something hit me this was a few months ago now, while I was driving. Something that happened, it just hit me. And it became hard to drive, and I couldn't get out of my head. It was just cycling around and around. But then I had to work through that, and I had to accept that I didn't know at the time to do something different, and that's okay. It was difficult. It took a few days to get through it, but that might be something that's going to be happening to you during this time. So whenever you're thinking about Scorpio, think about the death card, like death and rebirth, right? So right now, whenever these abusive feelings kind of pop up, go ahead and allow those feelings to die, and then have a rebirth in a new perspective, in a different way of seeing those things. Now's the time to do that. It's a good time for lucid dreaming. It's a good time for connecting with the spiritual realm. And things are going to just hit you. You're going to have aha moments and things like that. Okay, so those are all the notes I took from Shonetta's video. If you want to see more of it, yeah, just go to her video. Subscribe to her. She's so awesome. From my Moonology Oracle cards, what it says for Scorpio and full moon is to stop being paranoid or acting weird. Worrying constantly isn't helpful, and it's time to release negativity, including negative people, toxic people. Grudges are toxic, let it go. Do not end it vindictively, though. That's a lot of things that Scorpios are known for, is ending things vindictively. They're like, before they walk away, they're like, I'm going to get mine one last time. My Virgo moon has mostly kept me from doing those things, but I have in the past, when I was much younger and less evolved, definitely chewed people out. That was my way of ending a relationship, was like, you know what, you think you can walk away from me? Here's a long text message with all of your insecurities in it. For some reason, I felt justified in doing that. And a lot of the people around me were encouraging me to act that way. Sometimes we encourage toxicity because it makes us feel better about the toxic things we do. But we need to speak from a place of love and not as a place of fear of abandonment, right? So whenever we are saying goodbye to somebody and ending a relationship, it's better to go the high road about it and be like, look, this isn't working. You don't even have to give them a laundry list of the reasons it's not. You know inside yourself that it's not working for whatever reason. So it's okay to just kind of be like, yeah, this isn't working, bye, and end that. And then my planetary guide, it says that temptations will be at their highest at this point. So try to avoid risky or dodgy situations and unsafe people. So we're talking about getting away from toxic people. That's going to be probably one of the biggest things to deal with. So let's get into the collective reading. Okay, what are some negative emotions we need to release at this time? Okay. I'm already seeing for us that we have already spent some time kind of going over the things that were making us feel so depressed, things that were making us, want to relax and stay in bed. We've been going through this pandemic situation where a lot of us were dismissed from work. A lot of us didn't leave the house for a long time, and it was kind of overwhelming, to just have our lives completely change. So this is kind of reminding us that it is okay to take the time to rest right now and take the time to really take in everything that's happening and do that internal work to accept it. I think a lot of people are upset because we're not at this Nine of Pentacles life right now. A lot of us are feeling very lost and confused. Even if in moments of abundance, there's still moments of this worry of like, well, what's going to happen whenever this thing that's going for me right now is going to run out? I know a lot of people are depending on unemployment right now. A lot of people are going to different lines of work, and there's definitely this fear of like, what do we do whenever nobody has money anymore, I don't think it's going to get to be that intense, but I do think that a lot of people are worrying about like, what are we going to do? People are feeling like there's not abundance here. We also have Queen of Cups reversed. So this is a reminder to be empathetic with other people and to not put ourselves first all the time. Try to imagine how it is for the other person and their perspective. What just popped into my head right now is whenever people are rude to us, like that's This is a big lesson for me too. Let's take the time to accept that they're not coming from a place of, what's it called? They're not coming from a completed place. They're coming from a place of fear. And this is a very fearful time. So it makes sense for people to speak from fear right now. So we need to be empathetic with them. That doesn't mean not to stand up for yourself or to have boundaries, but definitely like be patient with people. Okay, what old emotions do we need to release for this full moon? Let's do back of the energy. Okay, Pisces energy, and then also the moon. So let's have a reminder to ourselves to not give into lies or not give into illusions. We've been living a lot of our life based on illusions, a lot of our life based on conditioning that our parents have given to us. I think that older generations just didn't really understand that whenever you have a child, they're going to be their own person. I think a lot of people, and this is for generations too, so I'm not saying they were bad, they didn't know any better, but for generations it's been like whenever they have a child, that child is an extension of them, so they assume that the child will act exactly like them, so they treat them a very specific way based off of that, and it's not giving them individuality. So we grow up with this like false self and this false sense of what we're supposed to be because we're our own independent individual, but we were given these expectations to be a different person, or things were put on us that wasn't even our own thing. It wasn't even our own experiences or trauma, but it was put onto us. So let's remind ourselves that those things are illusions and they're not real. They're not actually a part of our lives. We got Page of Pentacles here too. So open your ears and open your mind to new prospects whenever it does come to some type of financial stability or something like that. I feel like new ventures are going to be coming for everybody right now. So as a collective, let's keep our eyes peeled so we can see things and we can get an idea of the prospective things that are going to happen for us. I also have Four of Wands here, so let's celebrate, right? Just because we're in isolation, just because things aren't going exactly the way we want them to, or whatever else, we do have an opportunity to still celebrate ourselves. So do something small for yourself, do something small for your family. Make sure that you are celebrating the life that you have and having gratitude, you know? And then we also have Page of Swords here. So this is telling me that we need to figure out how to speak our mind in a way that is productive, right? So look, she's studying in the book and she's getting all these ideas. I always think of the Page of Swords as receiving information and taking in information on how to express ourselves better. That's what I'm getting from it. Because the more we learn, the more we're able to explain ourselves. The more we learn about ourselves, our ego, our inner child, our shadow, all of those things, we're able to express ourselves in a better way and we're able to actually make change, you know? Some people get caught up in the identifying stage and they don't actually make the steps to do something different, but it is important to at least start there. It's important to at least ask yourself, why am I getting so upset? Why am I reacting in this way? And then also like establishing boundaries with other people, like, hey, when you do this, it hurts me or it offends me. But also check in with yourself too. Is what I'm asking for too much? Is what I'm asking for infringing on their boundaries? Because if you're establishing a boundary for yourself, it should only affect you. And it should be like, hey, you're asking too much of me, you know? That's over there with that Queen of Cups reversed. So remember to have empathy as we're speaking with other people and to enjoy and celebrate life with the people around us. We can have abundance and we can work towards it, but we need to kind of relax and take a step back and allow things to manifest for ourselves. So keep your ears open. Okay, what do we need to release for Scorpio and full moon? Okay, we have new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. So this is a reminder that everything you've been working towards for however long, like I don't know how long your current project was, that you're going to be getting good news soon. Definitely. And it's paying off for you. It's giving you abundance, all this hard work that you've done. So continue to work hard. And it's not a big deal either to take that step back and celebrate a little bit of what you have accomplished so far. Luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. So another reminder that the universe has your back, right? So what you've been hoping for is coming to fruition. It's going to happen for you. So just let it happen, you know, surrender to the divine because luck is coming. We have full moon in Virgo. So here's a reminder that you are good enough the way that you are. So you don't have to change in order to receive love from other people. The way that you are as your inner true self, that is a lovable person. So we have to work hard to be that person, right? And let's not give into our idea of what our false self is, because that's whenever the ego starts jumping in and trying to make decisions for us. And the ego is not our friend. We have North Node, step out of your comfort zone. If you don't know what your North Node is, you should look it up because it's kind of about what your karmic debts in this world are. Guess which one mine is in? Scorpio. So that like says a lot about what it is you're supposed to learn in your life and what you had accomplished in your past life or not accomplished in your past life. So what you're able to focus on in this life. So look into it, step out of your comfort zone and do something different. Here's a way of kind of describing it. My North Node is in Scorpio, right? So my South Node is in Taurus. Taurus is also my sun. So in my past life, I had a lot of stability. I probably had a lot of money. I never had to question my conditioning. I never had to change anything about myself. So in this life, those are all things that were very important to me growing up. Was like this idea of stability. It was so important. Like I was like, I can't wait until I grow up so then I can be a stable person and all of these things, because we can't control what happens to us when we're children, right? Not that my parents were super messed up or anything. It's just, that's just the way it was. And so now that I'm an adult and I'm finding that I'm still trying to chase that stability, it's never really coming, right? So looking into this, the North Node in Scorpio is that in this life you have to embrace change and you have to embrace chaos and allow your life to continue to change and open yourself up to that, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is kind of like opening myself up, deciding differently about what it is that I want to do and what my path is and things like that. So there's a lot of like growth for me right now. I hope there's a lot of growth for you too, and that's why you're watching this channel. What positive things do we need to bring in to our lives? What positive things do we need to bring into our lives from this full moon? Full moon in Scorpio, what do we need to work on? Okay. Some things that you can kind of work on that are going to help you and be a part of, you know, this more positive aspect of your life. These are from the Shine, what is it? Shine from the Inside Oracle cards. But what we have here is nourish your body with high vibing energy. So that can be something that you can add to what it is that you want to change. If you were filling your body up with bad foods, I also do that sometimes too, you know. So now could be the time to kind of release the addiction to those foods or the need for them. Something I'm doing is the intermittent fasting. I might do it long term, I'm not sure. We're just going to see what happens. But it's supposed to help with your metabolism. It's supposed to help with inflammation. It's supposed to help with all these things. So changing the way my eating habits is going to be a way to kind of like open my mind a little bit more and make me less dependent on food, if that makes sense. Of course we need it to live, but if we're constantly grabbing snacks just because we're bored or don't feel good inside or something like that, there's also this thing called intuitive eating. You can look more into it if you suffer from that as well. I know it's very common, but yeah. We also have forgive someone. That's some good medicine for right now, is to forgive somebody. That doesn't mean that you have to allow them back into your life. That doesn't mean that you have to let them to continue to be in your life, but to help you forgive this person. I'm thinking about doing some forgiving about stuff in my past as well during this full moon. So I might write some stuff down, burn it. I really enjoyed burning last time. We have celebrate yourself, you deserve it. That was right over that Four of Wands. So this is just another message that it's time to celebrate who you are as a person. You know, you have done good things. You will do good things. You are worthy and deserve love. So definitely celebrate yourself. Do something small just for you. And then we have show off your sparkle and shine from the inside. So don't let people stomp on you. Don't let people make you feel like you don't deserve these special things in your life, you know? You do deserve to be celebrated. You deserve to feel loved. You deserve to feel that the universe has your back. You deserve all those things. I know there are going to be moments in our lives where we don't feel that way, but we just have to continue to try to get back on track and continue to have faith in the universe. What do we need to release? What negative things do we need to release here? Okay, here are some messages from the universe has your back. When I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. I actually have a friend on Instagram that I've been connecting with. She's a very sweet person, but she told me to go look at one of her posts, and this is actually what the card was. So it's just like a double message here. That when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. So that means that sometimes we feel like we're putting in so much effort and so much time, but the thing is that it's a constant thing, you know? We'll constantly have to go through this. We'll have ups, we'll have downs. Things will happen in our lives that are completely out of our control. But we have to surrender to the divine. We don't always like where we are, but we're meant to be there, if that makes sense. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So another reminder there that we have to have faith in the universe. We have to believe that we are being led somewhere for a reason, you know? I know that not everybody likes that. And I can totally understand. I didn't want any of the things that happened to me to happen to me either, but they did. And we shouldn't have to pay for generational trauma, but we do. Not everybody is fortunate to be born into a family where, you know, the trauma from generations has now been solved and changed. Sometimes it's us. We have to be the ones to break the cycle. We have to be the ones to make the difference. So it is your opportunity now to make a difference. And it'll impact the next generation. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation are merely calls for help. Okay, so we were saying that earlier, right? So this is just another reminder that when people are being nasty, that's coming from a place of fear, that's coming from a place of not feeling complete and not feeling safe. And we can't always make people feel safe. You can do your best. Sometimes the best you can do is forgive them for what they've said and let it go. Sometimes that's the best thing you can do, because sometimes too people are seeking negative attention. They're seeking affirmations from others that they are as bad as they think they are. So it's like, I'm going to do this thing that I know will upset this person, so then they'll become upset, and then I can reaffirm that I am a person who upsets other people, you know? So it's kind of like, let's not play into that, because that is also a cycle. Let's not play into other people's toxic cycles. Let's approach things differently. Let's not speak from our ego. Let's speak from a loving and understanding place. What do we need to release? Ooh, spiritual guidance already popped out. Okay. Some things to keep in mind: good fortune. We saw earlier that luck is on our side, so that means that we still have good things coming for us. So that's great to hear as a collective, right? So we definitely have good things coming for us. The first card that had fallen out was spiritual guidance. So let's reach out to our spirit guides. Let's, you know, allow ourselves to be open and hear the messages from spirit that are coming to us. You can hear it through music. You can hear it through the sound of the wind. You can hear it through meditation. There's so many different ways that we can connect with our spirit guides. So look for synchronicities, look for messages, look for things like that. I actually forgot that this happened earlier today, but earlier I had the idea to get on the highway on my way home, and normally I don't do that. I just go through the light. But today I was like, I'm just gonna get on the highway. I don't feel like waiting at the light. And then I went through, and whenever I exited, I saw the light behind me, and there was a bunch of fire trucks and EMS and all that stuff. So I would have been stuck at that light for however long. That was totally a moment where I was like, wow, my intuition was speaking to me today, and it was true. And then I swear right after that, I saw 11:11. Like, I felt a few other moments of being one. And so let's let those moments, impact us, and let us, feel them. Because they can also be grounding, We have the sun, so that's a reminder that every day is a new day. So you can take on each day knowing that you have the ability to change it. During this time, the Scorpio full moon time, if you do feel emotional or depressed or anything like that, just remember that you can do meditation, you can go for a long walk, you can journal about it. There are many different things that you can do to change your vibration. So just work on doing that during that time. I know it can be hard sometimes, but go out, get some sun, do something like that. And we also have grounded here. So a reminder to stay grounded. I was just saying go outside, right? Literally, like, sometimes going outside and putting your feet in the grass, like, makes a huge difference. So don't forget to go outside. Don't forget to allow yourself to see the sun. Don't forget to enjoy nature. Sit outside on your patio, If you're a person who can't really go out in the sun for whatever reason, just go stand out on your patio. Open a window. There's so many different ways that you can interact with nature around you. So it's an opportunity for you to be grounded and feel that you are one with the universe. And that's really important. Here, for our last little messages, I'm going to do our little tiny oracle cards. I know people love these. I love them too. She just came up with a tarot deck, but I don't understand the language, so I think I might not get it, but it's really beautiful. Okay, so we have, bottom of the deck here, we have yes. So whatever you're thinking about, the answer is yes. So that's really good. I'm wondering what that means for myself. I feel like I've already shared a lot for myself, so we'll get an idea. I'm sure you've gotten an idea of already of like what it is that I'm going for. I'm assuming yes actually means intuition, because I was just talking about intuition. I've been feeling like I need to be intuitive, interact with my spirit guides, things like that. Uh-oh. We also have no. Okay. So that gives me the idea that, okay, so we're letting go of negativity, right? So say no when you mean it, and say yes when you mean it. That's what that's telling me. This is a boundary thing, these two, with the yes and the no. Because so often we say yes when we don't actually mean it. And I was watching a video about how doing that can actually be selfish, Like, we think that we're helping somebody, but by always saying yes, even if we're uncomfortable with it, isn't helpful to anyone. It's actually selfish, because you would rather be liked more than respect your own boundary, and that can create resentment against that person. So that's a selfish action. I didn't know that. For a long time, I've been saying yes to people because I want to make people happy. I had no problem telling somebody no if I knew something was wrong, but there were many times whenever I was uncomfortable with what I was being asked, but I didn't have a legitimate reason, or I didn't have a logical reason or something rational or tangible, so I would just say okay. Or sometimes if people put pressure on you, they ask you for something and then they need a response right away. Many times we're drawn to say yes right away, right? I also learned recently that if someone is pushing you to make a decision right away, the answer should probably be no. Because if it's something that's meant for you, then it's something that will feel casual, and it's something that will feel like it's happening naturally. It shouldn't be something that's rushed. It shouldn't be something that pressure is put on. If someone's putting pressure on you to say yes to something, and you feel the pressure, that's probably your body telling you that you should really say no. And then be respectful about it, of course. Keep that Queen of Cups in mind and that Page of Swords in mind. Use what you learn, the language you learn, to express what exactly it is that you need from somebody, or what exactly that boundary is that you don't want to be crossed. Express it as productively and straightforward as you can, And also mean what you say. Don't say one thing, expect somebody to read your mind, different things that can happen. Mean what you say, and communicate effectively. Because how can the other person know what it is that you need if you never say it, right? And if you feel afraid to tell somebody these things, then that person isn't meant for you, you know? And or you're not meant right now for this connection with this person. If for whatever reason you feel uncomfortable expressing your needs to them, then this relationship is not serving you. And that does not mean it needs to be a big blow up and let go. It can just be let go. It can just be like, you know what, this isn't serving me. I'm gonna go do my own thing. And that's totally fine. You are free to end any relationship at any time for any reason. Okay, so that's a good thing for that. And that was a collective reading for the full moon in Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed some of those notes up front. Give me a thumbs up to let me know and leave a comment if it resonated. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I put uplifting messages as often as possible. And I'll see you next time. Next video should be about past lives. That's where I'm going next. So yeah, thank you and see you next time. Bye.